me just turn off my AC because it's pretty cold. Okay. I think I'm good to go. Part of me feels as though that I should probably lower my gain. Maybe. Hey, Decisive, how are you doing tonight? How was your day? My head hurts. I'm sorry, man. Do you have like anything that you can take to help with that? I am forced to go to school tomorrow because we have to do a group project, so I'll likely just stay away from everyone to make sure they're safe. I already took some medication. I'm sorry, man. Are you hydrating? Are you hydrating a lot? Like drinking a fair amount of water, Usually that can help. Um, Not always, but hydration will can always lead to better conditions for recovery. That sucks though. Group projects are terrible. Oh, dude, I think I drink too much water. Yeah, really? Define too much water. Do you get like 500 milliliters? I forgot actually how much 500 milliliters is in relation to like ounces. 6 liters a day. Damn, that's not bad. If I'm understanding the math correctly, yeah, that's really good actually. That is really good. Good on you, man. That's awesome. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I think I know what the amount is, but I'm an idiot. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Wow. 1.6 gallons. That's sick. Usually, not many people, even adults, will get that amount. So kudos to you. Kudos to you, man. Okay, so I do want to read some lore. Water tastes good. Yeah, water is refreshing, man. It also depends on where you are, though. If there's like some jankiness to like the body of water, or like where water is getting filtered through, or and like pillaged from, transferred from, really, it's rough. The science grade teacher in third grade lied. Water doesn't have a taste. Not necessarily. It depends on where you're sourcing your water. What you're tasting is the minerals as well as the something else. Uh, it's really just the minerals. The minerals add the taste. Water itself does not have a taste, but depending on where you are, the composition of minerals that went into the source of water being pulled from will add certain flavors to it. Water will taste different wherever you go, whichever region you go to. So I understand what he's saying, and I understand what your contentions are with what he said. It's regional. Like for example, I had a vacation, and I'm very lucky that like I have a connection to someone who put me on their family plan. This was eons ago when I was traveling with the family, like way, way, way before. Uh, and water, for example, will taste a bit different in like Florida. Water will taste a little bit different in California. Water will taste a little bit different in Nevada. Where else have I been? Like even like road trips down to Florida way back when, water will taste different from like region to region. It is the weirdest thing. It is so weird. In the world before the Stranding, the online service industry was huge. Potentially, possibly, the biggest of them all. People wanted their lives to be smooth, stress stress free, and countless companies were happy to oblige. Customers would provide information about themselves, browsing history, purchasing history, that kind of thing, and in return, they'd get a pleasant, personalized internet experience. It wasn't anything like the dystopian surveillance state people used to worry about in the 20th century. Predictive advertising, customized health tips, that sort of thing. The internet transformed their lives, and in many ways for the better, but not everyone was happy. People started to worry that it was encroaching on people's freedoms, that the price we paid for so much convenience was constant monitoring and abdication of control. We had become members of a symbiotic surveillance society. Naturally, there are people who have similar concerns about the chiral network. There is a pretty sizable faction that wants nothing to do with it whatsoever. That being said, I can't help but feel that they're being naive. There is no such thing as a free lunch. Connectivity and convenience have to come at a price, which is true. What's more, the stakes the stakes are a whole lot higher nowadays. We're not talking about a simple trade-off between privacy and convenience. It's the network or bust, survival or extinction, as far as humanity is concerned. I already read that. There isn't. I always go into this one beach house with my cousin every year, and the water there tastes horrible. There isn't people that don't like water. There is people that haven't drank good water yet. Yeah. I get what you mean. Yeah, there are places where water just tastes fucking like dog shit. Like as if like people literally just ran their asses through the water and just thought it was okay to start using it as drinking water. I'm like, bro, come on. Like, not good. Um, Higgs Actually, no. Hold on. I need to get my inhaler just to make sure that I'm ready for any random coughs. So I'll be back in just no more than 30 seconds. Yeah, so that was quick. Do I have asthma? I do not. The inhaler that I use is a let me check what it is. I have two different inhalers. I have a vapor inhaler and I have a what's called an albuterol sulfate inhaler, a prescription one. That one's finished. The prescribed one is finished. I use a vapor inhaler for it doesn't have menthol in it. It doesn't, as far as I know. But it has a substance that is when I breathe it in, it's aeration. It's aeration if I'm getting the term correctly. I can breathe it in, and it gives a lot of soothing effects for the nostrils, the esophagus, as well as my bronchioles. It allows me to really just have less shenanigans transpiring, like coughing, because of that soothing effect. I don't have asthma. What I'm dealing with is a stress cough. It's a very strange phenomena. It is part of the umbrella of stress-induced phenomena, stress-induced conditions, where if I get stressed enough, I will start coughing a lot. Very, very, very strange. It's equivalent to the idea of how, if someone stresses hard enough on their chest, they will break out in acne. I have a lot of that. A lot of stress-induced phenomena, stress-induced conditions. For example, One of the other stress induced conditions that I've been suffering from since I was 10, maybe even earlier, as far as I know, is if I scratch myself, I will have a hyper inflammatory response, meaning that my white blood cells will respond very, 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 very poorly to abrasive stimuli, cuts, scratches, anything on the skin. And that condition is called dermatographia, skin writing. And it is, I've been researching that for like almost more than half of my life. And there has been absolutely no remarkable progress on like the topic, other than it is most likely just having to do with stress. Like, what the fuck? So that's one. Another one is. What was it? I'm thinking about all the other ones. The cough that I'm dealing with is a stress cough. I know that because I got checked by my doctor, and physiologically and physically, he stated that there is literally nothing wrong with my nostrils, my esophagus, or my lungs. There is nothing physically detectably wrong. So, looking back at a lot of my questionable conditions that transpired from the ages of like potentially 5 all the way up to like 9, 10, starting to arise, and it still sticks with me to this day. The dermatographia is one of them. Uh, Whatever mono did to me. No, 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 no. Here's another one. Here's another one. I was going through uh, some really bad shenanigans, 2014 all the way up to 2017. Like, really bad. It got to the point where, like, my eyes, like, macular bullshit, ocular bullshit. My eyes literally couldn't handle looking at light, like going out into the sunlight. It was all stress. Like, I got my eyes checked. They were like, there's nothing wrong. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? I can't. It hurts for me to, like, go outside. My eyes can't handle it. I have to literally, when I wake up during that era of time, those 3 years, I literally had to wear sunglasses immediately when I woke up because my eyes couldn't handle the light. That was speculatively stress induced. I was fucking stressed during that time, like very stressed. What else? During mono, I had mono in 2019, and I think that the mono itself was bad, but because I was heavily stressed, I think it was facilitating a lot of the conditions of which I was already liable to fall to. No energy, bed locked, literally in bed 23 hours a day. And that was going on for 3 to 4 months back in 2019, quarter four. 3 to 4 months of just being bed locked. I couldn't get out of bed, and if I did, it was just to shower, brush my teeth, and I barely ate. I barely ate during those 3 to 4 months of mononucleosis. I didn't even know where I got the mono from. I But in my blood work, it showed that I did get mono. So that's the only physical thing that transpired. I don't know where I got the mono from, uh, but that facilitated a lot of the conditions of which I still deal with today. Chronic fatigue syndrome. I don't know what the fuck is like, what's wrong with my body, but apparently I am constantly tired. Constantly tired. And constantly fatigued. But I have a counter argument to that, but it's still a response to stress. Uh, what was it? Like, the trailing symptoms are that I still deal with to that day from that day are chronic fatigue. I My minimum floor of what's it called? Temperature, like what I forgot what's it. My thermal regulation and my thermal floor. Uh, I cannot handle anything that is below um sunny 60s 60 degrees Fahrenheit sunny. I cannot handle anything below that. Cloudy, I cannot handle anything below cloudy with a breeze 68 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I cannot. My body physically gets stressed and I start coughing up a storm. And so, going into the COVID second shot, the underlying effects of mono and all of my underlying effects and how my body responds to stress, it all converged into the second shot where I started coughing a lot. An hour after the second shot. I got checked. Nothing is wrong. Literally nothing is wrong. There's nothing wrong with my esophagus. There is nothing wrong with my lungs. There is nothing wrong with my nostrils. Nothing. Physically nothing wrong. Doctors were like, what's happening? They couldn't give me an answer. So, what the second shot did to me is now affect my thermal ceiling. And it facilitated the greater effects of like how I'm affected with my thermal floor. My thermal ceiling now, if it's 100 degrees give or take, undulating around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, that my ceiling, I physically get stressed to the point where I start coughing up a storm. It used to be that I have to be warm enough so that I don't cough up a storm. Now, my ceiling is that if it's too hot, I physically get stressed to the point where I am coughing a disgusting amount. So, if I don't want that undulation of like shenanigans both in the ceiling and the floor for my thermal regulation and my thermal tolerance, I have to be within, in sunny conditions, between 60 degrees Fahrenheit up to 85, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a decent window. But if it gets cloudy, man, 70 degrees Fahrenheit up to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know. And we're not talking about anything that's stressful outside the physicalities yet. So, if I am emotionally or cognitively stressed, like disgustingly stressed, I will start coughing up a storm. A very huge storm of coughs. What else? Let's talk about my chronic fatigue. I think that's stress. Physical stress. And potentially cognitive and emotional stress. I can't train physically more than once a week anymore. My body is literally eating away at me. No matter how much food I feed it, I'm still losing weight. I'm still my body's composition is changing very heavily to the physical stress, and I went from being having hypometabolism, like slow, bad metabolism, to hyper metabolism, strong, fast metabolism, all in a series of 8 weeks. I went from hypo to hyper metabolism, and my body feels like it's eating away at me, no matter how much I feed it. I went from training 5 times a week to now just once a week. And my body is still losing weight. My body is still getting more and more, for the lack of better words, muscular. Is it good? Yes, but it hurts. My body is constantly in pain. My body is dealing with so much just compounding hell on a weekly basis. Let's say I train on Friday, I cannot train again until next Friday, earliest, and it's rough. I'm like, it's good in a sense because I'm like, now I can be lazy and focus on resting and like doing whatever else that I care about. But it's not good because it's like I want to do other stuff. I want to like run. I want to. It sucks. And it's not a big deal. But a lot of like what you're hearing, what I'm hearing, is that there is just a lot of stress. And I'm doing my best to really like de-stress as much as possible using the streams, just hanging out, spending a lot of time with like chatting with my friends, like whenever we do have time throughout our days, and just like catching up with them, connecting with them. And thankfully a lot of like my main friendships are like around the world. So we chat and like chime in whenever we can. And I'm not bound by the stupidity of like the people around me. So I feel like I'm not as stressed as I used to be, but I'm still dealing with a lot of stress. So, a lot of my life going forward is just managing my stress. And it is so tough. One of the fucking toughest things to do. Jesus Christ, so fucking tough. But yeah, that's my story. It is strange. Very, very strange. Um, it's hard to explain because people and doctors just think I'm fucking faking shit. But when they observe all of the bullshit that I'm dealing with, they're just like, they don't have an explanation. And I'm there just willing, thinking to myself, like, yo, I'm gonna fucking destroy you if you look at me like I'm a fucking idiot. Like, fuck you. So, Higgs Monaghan, or I don't know if I'm getting the pronunciation correct. Well, yes, I know the name. The former leader of a private courier organization, as I recall, which serviced a large region in the West and was instrumental in providing continued support to the people living there. But as we were so far apart, British struggled to maintain any measure of influence over their operations. It probably didn't help that the separatist movement has always enjoyed strong support in that territory. In the wake of growing violence by the demons, we were shocked to learn that the Higgs himself was at their lead. What to make of this strange development? Why on earth would a man who once commanded a group devoted to American Reconstructionism suddenly pledge himself to the cause of American destruction? His name only compounds the insult. Have you heard of the Higgs particle, known as the God particle? It is associated with the Higgs field, that which gives all other particles their mass. Without it, atoms would fly apart and matter would not exist as we know it. In other words, its very presence prevents mindless destruction. Cosmic irony indeed. I already read that. Okay. That's just all really strange. It is. It's very weird. Like, I don't know how to describe this at all to people when they don't understand it. Like, I've been living a stressed life since I was a child, and that's not my fault. Oh, yeah, this map is like terribly inaccurate. Like, for me, like a lot of the problems that people tried to fix, like, they literally saw me as being the problem and they tried to fix me, and that's why I abandoned them, and that's why I left people behind, because people thought that I was like a fucking idiot. They thought that I was like they thought that I was a problem to be fixed.
And I was like, dude, you guys were my friends who I wanted to support. Why would you try and fix me when I never tried to fix you? I wanted support, so I gave you support, so you can hopefully reciprocate the support. Supporting is different from fucking trying to fix. That is fucking horrible. I left everyone behind, and I am unashamed to like admit that. I left everyone the fuck behind because they're such pieces of shit. They don't fucking know what I was born into. And then some pieces of shit will be like, you gotta do something about it. I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, do you understand that you're literally going against the grain? You're asking me to go against the grain in such a fashion at which is destruction. And I'm trying to find peace and solace, not facilitate destruction. These people are such fucking garbage, thinking that like they know everything, thinking that they just have the answer to everything. And it goes to show how fucking entitled they were growing up here. Like, such asinine fucking people, such garbage. And like they don't like, they literally deserve all of the bad that happens to them because they're such assholes. And then they're so ignorant. Mate, don't drink that many energy drinks. Yeah. In real life, yeah. I have never tasted a single drop of energy drinks. I highly advise you to stay away. For me, I love Monster. It is literally, I'm not even kidding when I say this. I know, like, I probably sound like I'm shilling for Monster, and maybe I am, but during my times of very difficult, stressful periods, Monster was like the entity that helped save me from from just collapsing. All of that extra like fuel helped me get through a lot of arduous times. And man, I don't know how else to say it. Like, people will have their contentions regarding energy drinks, and that's okay. I understand. 100%. I completely get it. I understand. I'm not saying anything that like will negate what they're saying. I just have a lot of brand loyalty to Monster because they have released a series that I enjoy a lot, and that series helped save me from a lot of my own despair and my own struggles. So, I will properly express how much I enjoy their product. I'm not sponsored by them. They don't fucking know me. They probably don't give a shit about me, but I still enjoy their product. I don't care if they don't know me. A small can is like double the price of a... Yeah. It's not worth it. Don't bother, man. It's just... It's not worth it, man.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All...
What are my orders? What are you up to, Decisive?
Weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you. Keep on keeping up.
Keep on keeping on. Oh, we have a bike now. We can make a bike. This is so exciting. and I rebuilt the road. Dude, I'm so excited to like maneuver, travel this world. It is so fun. Like during the first playthrough, 2019, I had to rebuild all these roads by myself, dude. Like a lot of people were like enjoying the benefits of the road that I built at the time, and I didn't have to rebuild the road as much. Literally, that first part right there and the very end, that is all I had to rebuild for this current highway. That is all that I had to rebuild. Everyone else took care of it. And dude, it's like, it's a prominent theme that is facilitated by the game and Hideo Kojima's vision. We can't really go anywhere without the help of other people. Our progress is so dependent on each other. And like the people that decide to opt and help with this road rebuilding saved me so much time. So much time. Like, do you know how much time I'm literally cutting off just because I'm using this highway? It's actually insane. And it's so beautiful. Hideo Kojima is just a great game director all around. I think so. I didn't get to really experience his vision of Metal Gear Solid, like wherever he was involved. I didn't get to enjoy that because I just wasn't into Metal Gear, like outside of the very first or second. I have to paint out my route. No, it was Konami. It was neither Capcom or Bandai Namco. It was Konami. If you're talking about his previous relations, it was Konami. Yeah. I don't know what transpired there. I can't speculate because I have no information other than things soured. But it led to the fruition and facilitation of Hideo Kojima's. I think it's Kojima Productions, or something like that. I can't remember. They treated him like shit. Yeah, that's what I heard. I never researched it, and whenever I speak on it, I try not to say anything like that is biased because I don't know anything. So like, it sounds like you know way more compared to compared to what I know. So I would rather listen to like what you're saying and then interpret what you're saying at your deliberation. Because most things he touches are very expensive to produce, even though they are always great hits. Yeah, and that's the thing. When you're talking about like any sort of corporate business, corporate entity, they want to min-max. They want to maximize the amount of profit and minimize the amount of costs. They don't care about artistic vision. They really don't care. And especially when we're talking about CEOs, like Forget it. Forget it. Any sort of financial advisors and teams and bullshit like that, none of them care. They just want more profit. That's all they want. And it's such tomfoolery. Nothing but tomfoolery. Basically, Konami would rather make quick money by using already well-known IPs. Yeah, and it's a system that works well. Look, we have to look at and examine, for example, like Apple MacBooks, Macs, iMacs, iPads, iPhones, iOS, everything, every single thing. Just right? And like, I get it. I understand. It doesn't mean that people should stop innovating. Innovation is literally the way that progress transpires. We have to fail time and time again in order to evolve. All the stresses involved will help us evolve. Sure, in the beginning it's all mutation. Mutation is the precedence that leads to evolution. Fucking slot machines. Man, Apple, talk about a company with such a potential that keeps fucking up. It depends. It has its loyal fan base, its loyal base that will, no matter what, support its proliferation, and it will keep accelerating. I think it will keep accelerating. People don't care. People want productivity. They want lifestyle, depending on which sector of humanity you're looking at. Especially if you're talking about affluent sections of humanity. Oh, look at some nice background noises for my short break. Hey, Wolfie, how are you doing? Oh my god, that bag looks ridiculous. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. I know, right? It's 2 times the size. Yeah. I am glad to see you, Wolfie. How's the shift? We're over here just being a bunch of walkers. Staying alive though, not dead. I'm doing alright on a short 10-minute break at work, for sure. I hope you're enjoying your work. No, sorry. I hope you're enjoying your break, mate. I wonder how severe his back pain is. Yeah. Thankfully, he has a power suit. The thing that's lighting up. It is pretty dope, man. God, I love this game. It's so nice to just chill back. I was gonna play some Kingdom Hearts, but I was like, I can't. Like, my mind is like floating. It's out. Like, my mind is somewhere else, and I need to just like relax. It's going alright. Trying to fix like 3 months of fucked up appointment. Damn, dude. So a lot of it's just reorganizing and all those shenanigans. Making a lot of phone calls. My brother used to work at a construction site. Every night I could hear him cracking his back. It's terrifying. Yeah, dude. Construction is hellacious work. In the U.S., they are very unappreciated. They are like it's trade, so like it's considerably stable. But man, all that physical labor. We start off at 43, give or take, 40 to 45,000 US dollars a year. For all of the pains and sufferings that these people will undergo, most likely not being at 40 hours a week, most likely going over that to potentially extending like to 60, 80 hours a week. It just depends on like where you are. It's pretty annoying. It's pretty horrible. But it's stable, and apparently there are pretty good benefits to it, and you get pretty good medical.
These bots aren't designed to operate outside the network service area. So let's get the distro center linked up already.
The joys of medical reception? Hot damn. Is that how do I say this? Is that where you see yourself moving towards, like scaling up in medical reception, or do you see yourself moving elsewhere in terms of like your career, Wolfie? Everywhere they're unappreciated? Yeah. I'm not surprised. Except here they don't get paid shit. Damn. Laughs and free healthcare in Australia. Dude, like, the U.S. is like one of the worst places for medical. It's bound to your jobs, and if in the event of like COVID, where people get laid off and there are people getting fired, because of work being absent and nothing being produced to facilitate necessity of employment. Like that's loss of medical, that's loss of benefits. Like it's really fucked. I get the other side of the perspective, but it still sucks. Like if a person doesn't have medical insurance and they have to treat like a broken bone, they are literally in debt forever, or for at least a very long time. Laughs in free healthcare in most countries in the world. Yeah, man. It's just a job to save up money until I can move overseas. Fair enough, man. Cries in minimum wage not being viable for living in a Messias. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Pay isn't bad. About 900. That's not bad. That is not bad. That is not bad. Especially like, I assume that you know how to budget and like save up well.
And there it is. I'll start prepping for the tests. You sit tight and wait for HQ to ring.
Much obliged, Sam. Now the bots can enter the final phase of testing. I designed them myself, you know. My hope is that they'll lighten the load a little bit. Unlike human porters, if one goes down, it won't cause a void out. Before the death of Stranding, scientists used to fret over the singularity, the possibility that someone might create an AI smarter than any human. But it never happened. Machines don't cause void outs. They can't die. They don't have beaches. No matter how far they come, machines will never understand death like we do. And because of that, they'll never truly surpass us. Get on the delivery terminal. I'll walk you through how to use the bots. And don't worry, I'll keep an eye on things from over here.
Anyway, gotta better head out. Alright, for sure. Thanks for joining, Wolfie. I hope the rest of your shift goes well, and see ya. Thanks for swinging by. That is indeed not bad. See you, Wolfie. Oh my god, is that Lara Croft? Lara Croft, I should say, rather. Dude, she's beautiful. The actor for that we just saw, fucking beautiful. One of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. Oh my god. Like, she is so fucking pretty. Jesus Christ.
These autonomous delivery bots are designed to process some orders for you. Simple, run-of-the-mill orders only. Take a look at what's available. Cargo transported by a bot is liable to get a little roughed up if the road's poor. On the flip side, a bot traveling on a well-maintained road is more likely to deliver cargo in better shape. Also faster, in case it wasn't obvious. Keep that in mind when sending them out.
This is so interesting. This is so cool. It automates traveling and deliveries. This is so cool.
Now we wait for the delivery bot to reach its destination. As of today, there's just one, but if the test succeeds, we'll move ahead with mass production. Then you'll be able to dispatch them yourself. Oh, seems I misspoke. We managed to slap together another delivery bot for field testing. You can decide how to use this one. Sorry, baby's fussing again. Thanks, Sam. We'll talk later.
Good work, Sam. These autonomous delivery bots will benefit everyone, from folks in cities and way stations to preppers out in the back and beyond. But you must be exhausted. Why not take a break? I bet your BB could probably use one too. Head for the private room. Go on.
Your work is great.
Not really into decorations, but I saw this one poster for Genshin that has some really beautiful minimalistic art, and I couldn't resist. It's awesome, man. That is awesome. If you want to share that in Ice Age or Lightning Cage, feel free to, man. Whether it be the link or the image, feel free to. I think I'm very interested in seeing, what that bot doing. I don't know, man. Kind of sus.
Sorry, didn't mean to startle you. You were sleeping when I dropped by. Thanks for the shower.
Right. Look, I gotta ask. I've been hearing things about you.
She's in bed with terrorists. Don't trust her. She's just another dumbass Higgs fucked over. She's a goddamn hero, that woman. Tell me, Sam, what does America mean to you? Way my dad made it sound, we were something special. The glue that held it all together. more than a nation. A symbol of freedom and hope. We could bring it all back if we kept on making deliveries and connecting people. He was sure of it. I was a wreck after he died. That's when Heeks made his pitch. Together, we can run packages from sea to shining sea. Back then, he had a monopoly west of here. We both stood to gain a lot from a partnership. Business was pretty good at first. But then, a year ago, when those fanatics started stirring up trouble, fuckers hijacked our system. Somehow they got a hold of our security passes and used them to sneak into cities. And just like that, we're delivering guns and bombs instead of medicine, and I didn't even know. We were just cogs in a terrorist machine. Higgs was behind it all. And on top of that, he got his hands on an old-school nuke that I ended up carrying right into Middle Knot City.
You tell me that...
Yeah. It was me. I blew it up. Could have been different if I wasn't so fucking blind. So I did everything in my power to stop South Knot City from getting destroyed. I tried to get the nuke out of the city. But Higgs was one step ahead. He took his pound of flesh and then some. Some wounds. They don't heal. Whatever time I've got left, the rain took. So there you have it. Everything's true. Except for all the lies. I don't give a damn about bridges or putting America back together. But I'm not about to let Higgs and some terrorists take my father's legacy and shit all over it. That's why I came to you. So, trust me now? I'll be there for you, Sam. All you have to do is call.
This game is such a beautiful experience, and it's such a theatrical experience. For me, I've talked about Fragile once or twice, maybe even 3 times prior to this story, just beckoning and like calling forth and like showing its pain, showing its misery. And Fragile is one of the most beautifully complex characters. And I remember back in the day, 2019, there was a streamer, a person, who gave his opinion where she is like one of the most angsty characters. I'm like, no shit, she's angsty. So much bullshit happened to her. Her story is tragic, dude. Very tragic. Who else? Who else is Naked Dream? I can only imagine what the hell. Yeah, this game is beautiful. I can only imagine what the hell that is making a single one of these 3D models. It's yeah. What's the blue wrist thing that he's using? It is a codex. I don't know what the proper term is, but it is a codex. It's the same thing as like when you look at Resident Evil and there's a codex that reads off their health and whatnot. This reads off the state of health that Sam is in. Sam Porter Bridges. The state of health that he's in. Like, let's say he's debilitated in health, like red zone and like about to pass out. It keeps track of that. It keeps track of his body's composition, such as salt levels, his blood, his urine, his feces. It keeps track of his chemical imbalances or balances. It keeps track of his brain, the wavelengths and activities, stuff like that. Let me just double check, see if it kind of sticks out. Yeah, it's meant to stick out. It is meant to stick out. So I understand where you're coming from. Kind of looks uncomfortable to wear. Maybe. I wouldn't know, but yeah. Like, for me, I don't like wearing necklaces. I don't like wearing bracelets. I don't like even like wearing watches. I don't like wearing anything. One of my friends proposed the idea I can potentially get a ring that can measure my heart rate, my sleep, and all that. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Like, as long as it's on my fingers, because I like my digits. My fingers are the things that like touches things the most. So I don't mind if like that is on my ring. The world is in ruins, and yet monsters still exist. Hey man, it's the monster that drives the world. Let me just test out some audio. One, two, three, four. Okay, cool. Yeah, beautiful. Things are still going well, even though it's a 60-minute mark. Absolutely beautiful. I am so happy that like the stream is doing okay at least. It does help. It does help that I haven't been messing around with any of the Elgato settings after I started. So I just want to keep things as pristine and like as pristine as possible. I don't care about the emails. I care about the interviews. Drones and the Singularity. Yep, the bot is good to go. We're putting it through some field tests within the network service area. Should have the results before long. Delivery efficiency within a given region is expected to improve following a successful Qubit connection as well. No, that won't be a problem. The bot's just a cargo carrier. Human input is required to accept orders and set coordinates. Drone syndrome shouldn't be a factor, and Singularity, not a chance. Well, think about it. Artificial intelligence doesn't die. It might get upgraded or replaced, but that's not at all comparable to death. So it has no reason to fear it. You see, a concept is completely foreign, incomprehensible. Death comes to all living things, but only humans have the capacity to understand the implications, to imagine what it means to no longer exist. That's one limitation artificial intelligence won't ever overcome. That's the reason it won't ever surpass human intelligence. And to facilitate this notion, artificial intelligence requires human input. People may be able to write code and facilitate the notion for like a supercomputer where it will pull in information from as many networks as possible, informational networks, but it'll still have information that was from humans originally, no matter what. No matter what. And people think that like Singularity is going to happen. There's no way. There's just no way. It's one of the most naive things. You can explore it in science fiction. That's pretty fucking cool. It's an interesting concept, but to think that people actually believe a singularity is going to happen, like a technological, artificial, intelligent singularity is going to happen, I'm like, dude, you're fucking, like, you're a nut job. You're scared for no reason. Absolutely no reason. How's it going with you, Decisive? How's your night coming along? I don't like my chair at all. I constantly have to shift and move and like adjust the microphone as well and to suit my desired conditions at which I'm sitting because this chair sucks. I kind of want to go back and play a little bit.
Ready to take the plunge? So, the only things you can bring with you is yourself. And maybe a few other trinkets that are really important to you. Okay, close your eyes. Picture your destination. Hold it in your mind.
That's pretty cool. So I have to figure out what I do have there, what I don't have there. I can't bring anything over there. And where am I? In a new facility? I think I am. I am over at the new facility, so South Knot City, I believe. We're burning chaos in the wind. Okay. Ah, so jumping actually resets everything. Ah, so it's only one. Let me just save once again. I kind of just want to run some missions since I have the motorcycle. It gives me incentive to keep playing around over here. Because after a certain point, you can't do any more missions, and it sucks. The reason why I'm saying the drone there is because I don't want to go there, that area in particular. That area in particular sucks.
Thank you for your continued support.
I own two? Ugh. Oh god. Ugh, man.
Sam, sometimes other porters will return Bridges' vehicles to the garage. They're for everyone, so feel free to use them if you want.
A very like cafe latte look to it. I like it.
Stand clear. Vehicle ready. Thank you for your contribution.
And now recycle.
Thank you for your continued support.
Actually, I think that's a good place for me to stop.
Work is greatly appreciated.
Next time, most likely at some point tomorrow after, hopefully I get all my obligations done because I need to fucking get on that. I will do whatever. I do want to play more Death Stranding though, like so badly. want to run through a fair amount of missions here. So yeah. Alright. I'm out of here. Good night.